Hi, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and today I've got for you some fun alternate project ideas that I created using the contents of the November 2017 Paper Pumpkin Kit from Stampin' Up! Titled Back in Plaid. This is the second in a series of 2 coordinating Christmas kits. The October kit, Pining for Plaid, consisted of supplies for making these fun shaker cards. I'll share some projects on my blog combining elements from both of the kits, but in this video, the only supplies I'll use will be from this November one. I'm a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. That means each month I get a fun paper crafting project in my mailbox. Each kit comes with all the papers, adhesives, embellishments, all the accessories too that I need to make the intended project as shown in the directions. Plus, I get a new stamp set and an ink pad or two that I can continue to use even after this kit is completed. I just need my clear block so that I can use my stamps, and a free one was included in my first kit, and a pair of scissors. This is a Stampin' Up! Product, so the colors, images, and accessories coordinate with many other Stampin' Up! Products. In fact, on the directions sheet on the back, you can find a list of coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors for each kit. And if following written directions with photos isn't your thing, you can instead view Stampin' Up!'s how-to video for each kit. Or you can explore alternate project ideas on Pinterest with Google searches, on the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook, and here on YouTube. Since these kits first started back in the spring of 2013, I've shared my outside-the-box ideas to help you stretch your creativity. So if you have past kits, be sure to check out all my other videos. I've shared alternate ideas with pretty much every single past kit. And if you subscribe with me as your demonstrator, I'll send you lots more ideas each month that are exclusive to my subscribers only. I'll be using a few extra Stampin' Up! Supplies as I share my unique projects. You can find these items listed below and linked to my online store. You can also look below for links to finding more information about Paper Pumpkin kits, starting or renewing your monthly subscription, joining my Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook, and peeks to some of the exclusives that I send my personal subscribers. If you're watching my video on YouTube, you can also click on the link below that will lead you to my website where I've shared close-up photos of what I'll be sharing today. Let's get started. Welcome to part 2 in a series of 2 videos that I've made for this kit. You are looking at a few ideas that I shared in my first video, so I wanted to make sure that you caught that one. That video will contain some gifty type items, some 3D things, and then it also has a pocket page, a pocket scrapbook page with this cute little Rudolph guy in one of the pockets. So you'll want to go check that out. In this video, I'm going to share with you some alternate greeting card ideas using the kit and a 12 by 12 scrapbook page layout. You don't have to own it all, but if you are going to be a regular Paper Pumpkin subscriber doing alternate projects with these kits, then I highly recommend investing in the Stampin' Trimmer, the paper snips, and if you cut ribbon, have 2 paper snips, keep one for ribbon only and one for paper, because the paper does dull your scissors. So I just put a little ribbon around mine. And then I also use the snail adhesive. This is my favorite, although I do use other adhesives as well, but this one is just quick and easy to use. So I highly recommend those. And then if you're going to invest in consumable type things, I recommend black and white cardstock. In fact, I use them both in 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11. And then if you're going to make alternate cards, we do have lots of medium-size envelopes. We also have envelopes that come in a packet for our note card size, so these are slightly smaller. But the nice thing about the note cards is that you can get them already cut and scored. They are ready to just decorate and stick in an envelope and go. So those are quick and easy. These come in very vanilla and whisper white, and you could also, if you're a vanilla fan, you can get vanilla cardstock, so a warmer tone. Oh, forgot to mention this, basic black ink. Gotta love basic black, it's perfect. So these are some basics, and then I always use some kind of embellishment, and my go-to embellishments are typically the pearls and rhinestones. Now we have a new product that just got released, and I'm going to be using them in the video, and they're called our blends, our Stampin' Blends. They are markers that are alcohol-based, and they draw on the rhinestones and pearls, so I'm going to show you how to do that, but they also color beautifully, so I highly recommend getting those. So we're gonna get a little glare because black does not behave well with the camera. Maybe if I put my hand here. But I've already cut my black cardstock in half this way vertically, and I've scored it and folded in half. So I have a card base ready to go. And then I've cut a quarter sheet of my Whisper White, but also trimmed it down a little bit so that it will fit inside here. So we're gonna use our snail adhesive and just put this on the inside of our card. And now when we write on the card, we can. And then we're gonna take some pieces from the kit. Now in the first video, again, I shared lots of alternate ideas using the stockings. So now we're gonna have all of these little pieces left over. And I thought how simple and how pretty just to add them to a basic card. So if we just stick that on there like that and maybe add a few little decorations, super, super simple. So let's go ahead and stamp this piece. I'm going to pull out my grid paper, and this is a scrap paper that I had from the last video. So we'll just cover up that little smudge mark, and we're going to stamp on here. You know, a couple other basics that I forget to mention quite often are the items, the basic items behind the scene, things that you don't see, like the Stampin' Mist cleaner, the Stampin' Scrub, which is a cleaner, a place to put your cleaner and to dry off your stamp, so you wash on one side, dry on the other. Sorry about the glare again, black does that. But I would recommend them if you don't have something to clean your stamps with. And then the Stampin' Pierce mat. Now my table here is kind of foam anyways, so I don't worry about putting that underneath my surface because I've already got a cushion. But photopolymer stamps, these clear stamps, do not have a cushion between the image and the block like wood stamps or clear mount stamps, the cling ones do. So you have to make up for that by having a cushion underneath your work surface, or you're not going to get that complete image sometimes on a table that has flaws or little nicks or dents in it. So I recommend using the Stampin' Pierce mat. It's for piercing and for stamping. And obviously this one is not for piercing. All right, so your kit comes with the Dapper Denim ink, the ink spot, but we're going to use basic black for our card. And we'll just go ahead and stamp our Merry and Bright. And then we're going to mount that to the front of our card using our snail adhesive. And we can tuck those little branches right underneath if we want. We could also pop this up on dimensionals if we want a little lift to it. But I don't, because I'm going to be adding something special next to these guys here. So let's just kind of eyeball where those are going to go and not tape them in quite yet. But we'll lay this guy down. And then we're going to lift these guys out and put some adhesive on the back. And you could use glue dots if you don't like to use the snail in this way. We've added the basic pieces to the card, but now I want to add some berries to my little foliage areas. And in order for me to do that, I need to have little red berries, right? But we only have pearls and rhinestones, so these blends, these Stampin' blends, are awesome. So all you do is just color directly on. They're just like a Sharpie marker in a way. The ink is alcohol based. It acts like solvent based when it comes to coloring on non-porous surfaces. We just let that dry, and we can color a bunch of those and then just stick those right onto our card. And there is one of our finished cards. And I just want to show you quickly that the colors react differently on pearls versus rhinestones. For example, this is the Calypso Coral color, and this is the Calypso Coral color. It looks a lot darker on here. And then on here, this is the Old Olive, and that's the Old Olive, and this one looks darker. So, each embellishment takes on a different tone or feeling when you color them. Kind of fun. Here is one other version of that same type of card. This one used the rhinestones and this one used the pearls. For my next card, I'm going to bring in some grid paper, and I'm going to bring in our note cards that are already pre-cut and scored for you. Do you see this dark line going through the middle in both directions? We're going to use that as kind of a focal point for the front of our card. Now we're just picturing this section. Even though I'm going to open it up because it's easier to stamp on when it's open up, I'm going to look between here and I'm going to look between here, and I'm going to try to center this on our grid paper. So our card is 3.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. So we want to make sure that our card is centered between the 2.5 going one way, 2.5 going the other way. And then for the other direction, we want to make sure that we have 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 going the other way. So now we've got our card centered in here, and when I look at this, I can see this is the center. So we're going to pull out our old olive ink and our tree stamp from that stamp set. So the old olive is something that you can get in the online store, unless you have it from a past kit. Because boy, if you're collecting these kits, you're gathering up a lot of fun colors. Okay, and we're going to stamp that. See, I can eyeball where those lines are, and I can stamp that right in the center of my card. Something I did ahead of time is I made this little guide, a little strip of paper. I just stamped a bunch of trees on it so that I could kind of see where my layout would fit. And you can see that this tree here becomes this tree in the card. And then I should be able to fit 2 more to the left and the joy and another tree to the right. So it always helps to make a guide, especially when you're scrapbooking too. I don't know if any of you do that, but with lettering. Now I'm using the basic black ink and my tree, and I'm going to stamp 2 trees to the left and 2 trees to the right. Now my worry is that I won't get those trees straight on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this straight edge, or you could even take a ruler, but if you place it down there and then you stamp your trees, you kind of have a guide as to making sure that your trees don't go, don't dip down and go in the wrong place. And if we go off the edge of our card, that's okay too. So you'll notice that I did the same thing that I did on this side. I let it go off the edge, and I let it go off the edge here, so that when I take this away, I've got a very balanced look with the 2 edges of my card. And now I can go ahead and stamp the word joy in there, and I can just fit it between the 2. Now I'm bringing in a color called Crushed Curry. This is a really nice golden yellow. We're going to stamp the little tiny star, because yes, you get a little star in this stamp set too, and we're going to stamp that right at the top of the green tree. And we're going to add ornaments. Now you could just color in all those little dots if you'd like to, if you have markers, that sort of thing. But since we already introduced those blends and coloring on our pearls, I thought I would bring those back in because they're so darn pretty. So let's go ahead and take a color. I don't know if this one will show up too well on the pearl. It's a light blue. It's our pool party color. Oh, that's still nice. You can still kind of see it on there. So I've just sat and colored on all of these little pearls to make a variety of them. And then I thought I would just pick a few and stick them on the tree. And there is our finished card. I think I added every single one of those colored pearls. Hopefully you can see it. It's really pretty. And you don't have to worry about covering every single one of those white little dots on the tree, because that kind of adds to it too. It makes it really full. Here's another card I did with just the stamps and some ink, and then of course I used the blends on those rhinestones. So you can see some light blue and dark blue. That's the navy color for blends, and I also have some clear ones on there. So just another idea. And after making that card, I thought it would be fun to bring those elements into a scrapbook page. So I have the 1.5 inch circle punch, the 1 3/8 inch circle punch, the 1 inch circle punch, and then I have the Dapper Denim ink. Of course, this color comes in your kit, the snowflake stamp. And then I'm going to show you how to make these cute little elements. So I took the tag that's in the kit and I punched that out with the smaller of the 2 larger ones. This is the 1 3/8 inch circle punch. You just flip it upside down, punch it out, and then you can take your layering color, and in this case I have some Dapper Denim cardstock, because yes, we have cardstock that coordinates with all our ink colors. Yay! And now we'll just go ahead and add that piece to this piece, and we have a couple fun little accents for a scrapbook page. And to make these little ones, I stamped the Dapper Denim ink multiple times without re-inking, which is what I also did on that, on the card that you just saw. And I don't have enough room there. I'm gonna have to grab another scrap. But then we took the 1-inch circle punch and punched those out. Let me grab another scrap real quick. So let's do that again. This time, let's not re-ink it so that we can see how many we can make here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now it's starting to get sticky because it's losing its ink. So we can get like 4 to 5 different shades of blue just from that one color. So I've stamped quite a few snowflakes now, and we're just going to brush those aside for a minute because now we have to get some other page pieces ready, and one of them is photo mats. So I have my trimmer, and I have a couple colors of cardstock. This is the Dapper Denim, and this is Soft Sky, and they coordinate really well. So we're gonna cut this to photo size, and that is 4 inches by 5 3/4. That's digital photo size. So we can do a whole bunch of these size pieces, and then we can make a mat, which is slightly larger, which is 4 1/8 inches. You can see the measurements up here, by 5 1/2. And you can actually get 4 photo mat layers out of those 2 sheets of cardstock right there. And then what you just need to do is trim down your photo just a slight amount to fit on here so that you can have a double layer. Now, if you don't need a double layer, that's fine. You can just, cut 1 layer for photo mats, and you can get 4 out of 1 sheet, and then put your actual digital photo, which is this size, directly on. So I have got a bunch of those already pre-cut and layered together. And I've got my 12 by 12 white here. And we're not going to be able to see it all in this camera, I don't think. But you're going to get the idea of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces and we're just going to lay them out. And I did a layout similar to this, I want to say, was it 1 or 2 years ago for another kit. But I thought it would be fun with snowflakes because snowflakes fall, right? So we're just going to lay these pieces kind of back and forth like that. See, that one will go that way then. And when you have the look you like with your photos going across your pages, then you can start sticking them down. And I would keep the photos as the main thing to add first, the photo mats, and then you can figure out where your little embellishments are going to go after that. So as I'm putting these down, I thought I would stop and mention to you that you want to do your under pieces first, the ones that go under the top photos. And when you're sticking your top photo layers down, you want to make sure that you're not getting adhesive that's going to cover up photos that you'll be slipping underneath. So on this piece, I want to just get the adhesive right through the middle. So when I stick it down, I can still slip a photo underneath here to fit in that rectangle. And then when it comes to these pages here, do you see how I had them overlap a bit? Okay, so now, of course, they're not going to fit in my scrapbook unless I do some trimming. This piece, when I trim it off, is going to appear over the top of this one if it comes into that page, and this one is going to appear on this page. So I have to be careful not to ruin the pieces as I trim them. The best thing to do is get a long-handled scissors when we're trimming. So did you see what I did there? I did that for both sides, and then I realized this one doesn't have to come onto the other page because this is the one overlapping. So you only have to do it to one. Okay. Also, there was a trick that I shared there too where you put the triangular pieces next to each other. So you want to make sure that they're flipped over on the back side, and then you put the 2 triangle pieces next to each other so that the points, let's see if I can kind of share it with this. So the points are kind of going in opposite directions, and then you have this nice width to put your adhesive all the way down, and you can get adhesive right to the tip of those little pieces that way. And I've finished. It's a really quick page to make, so let me share with you. Sorry about the shadows, we're getting some shadows today. Let me share with you, I've got these little pieces popped up on dimensionals. There's another one popped up on dimensionals, but some of them I have flat. And I still wanted to punch them out because it's easier to stick them underneath pieces or slide them underneath the photo mats that are already on there. So that is the reason for doing all of those snowflakes on separate little circles. Plus it gives consistency to the page. And so I've got the title, Let It Snow, and then it connects to this one here, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. So kind of like that one song. So there are the completed scrapbook pages. I have one more card to share with you. For this last project, you'll want to take a full sheet of cherry cobbler cardstock. That's the color that coordinates with the twine in the kit. And we're going to cut it in half. It's 8.5 by 11, so we're going to cut it at 4.25 by 11. And then we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to score it with our lighter colored blade. And there we have our card base piece. Now I've already trimmed the inside white piece that's going to fit in here. So that piece is 4 inches by 5 1/8. And then we're going to take and start putting together some of these. So these are going to be the cherry on top of the white. These are the white tags, the blank ones that come in the kit, and these are the cherry ones. So we'll just tape 2 of these sets together like that. And after we've done that, let's just take this out for a minute because we're gonna do something to that before we stick it in. We're actually gonna put that right in the middle like this into our card, and then we're gonna take a piece of gold glimmer paper. So let me have you grab your trimmer again, and we're going to cut this piece that I've already trimmed down to 1 3/4 by 2 inches. And we're going to trim in 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So if it's going horizontally, you're going to put your trimming blade down at the 1.5 inch and slide it up to the 1/4 inch. Then you're going to rotate it a 1/4 turn, and you're going to bring it into the 1 3/8, I'm sorry, 1 3/4 to the 1/4 inch. And then you'll rotate it again a 1/4 turn, and you'll bring it to the 1.5 to the 1/4 inch. And the last one is the 1 3/4 to a 1/4 inch. So that what we're doing is we're taking and making kind of a frame with this piece. And if you have to get those last ones with the scissors, go ahead and do that. This piece is going to become a buckle. So we're going to tape that to the center of this little banner piece here. It's going to become Santa's belt. So I've already done that on a separate card, but I want to show you with a scrap here. You're also going to cut out just a thin scrap, and it doesn't even matter if it's straight or not. But you're going to make kind of maybe a 1/2 inch piece with that. So you just need a scrap of gold, and that one's going to get taped on like that. So after you've adhered this to the banner, then you're going to take a couple glue dots, and you're going to put one at each end and stick them down like that. Okay, because you're going to be going over the top of this really thick cardstock here. So if you have glue dots, it's going to hold much better. One at each end right there. And then before you actually glue this on, sorry, one more thing. You're going to take your second one, and that one, actually we're going to go right to here. We can go right over like that because we don't have to worry about the end of it. But that one's going to butt up right next to this, and then you're going to put your buckle on. And so that's how far I've gotten on this card so far. So let's go ahead and pull that one in. After you've done that, after you've attached this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece together, and you've stuck it down onto your card, then you're going to trim this off. You're going to trim this piece off. And that is going to be put underneath here at the end, like that. Okay, so we're not wasting anything. So we'll just stick that right underneath at the end like this. and we'll trim that off. Now this inside piece is going to get stamped with the image Merry and Bright, and that's just going to be put right in the middle or maybe a little bit lower, because this piece here would be so cute if it was wrapped up like a present. So then you just grab your twine from the kit and do a little wrapping. You just pull the ribbon around and tie a little bow at the top. And let's just go ahead and trim this off here, and then I'll show you the inside. Isn't that adorable? So you've got a little Santa belt with the Merry and Bright on the inside. Fun! Now that you've watched my video, I hope you can see that there is so much more to these kits than meets the eye. Never tried paper pumpkin? Not sure if it's something that you want to get month after month? Well, guess what? The kits in the US are just $20 plus tax. That's it. And there's no commitment needed. You can stop your subscription at any time. So I say, give it a try. Thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my website at stampyourartout.com so that you can view close-up photos of these projects, see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas, and see many other great ideas that I share using Stampin' Up! Products. If you're watching my video on YouTube, look for links in my description below. And remember, to see some extra exclusive paper pumpkin project ideas, get your subscription started with me as your demonstrator. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.